Breaking. You must listen to this as the tension between Eazy the Block and Remy intensifies because things are going to become bad. Rumor has it that a recent occurrence that affected them both greatly was the reason for the most recent outburst. As if that weren't enough, Eazy the Block has been voicing their opinions to anyone who will listen, demonstrating how far from resolved this problem is. Since this drama is just beginning and appears to only become more dramatic from here on. Keep an eye out. Became heated when he questioned her devotion during a car journey. Since Remy irritated him by introducing him to Kaipo's new girlfriend, he is very unhappy. This is not an isolated event, though, as it seems that the strain has been building for weeks and is finally nearing a breaking point. If you missed the last drama, here's what happened. Tension has been building due to Remy's actions. And it looks like a blow-up is imminent. Keep checking back since there are still rumors going around about Remy, when it was revealed in late 2023 that Remy had cheated on Papoose. With an underground rapper who is known for his laid-back style, people started to think that she was using this new person as a rebound. Things took a sharp turn when Papoose shared a touching Father's Day photo with his daughter and used the opportunity to publicly announce their breakup, even though it had seemed for months that Remy was still completely enamored with Papoose and his new love partner. In addition, Remy quickly began to show up with her new partner. Everyone assumed Remy and ES were in a committed relationship when they were spotted together. But it was obvious that something was wrong when Remy suddenly stopped dating him. After a dispute with rapper G Gotti, things really started to go awry. Remy tried to console them from the sidelines, but Gotti was blunt and revealed the true reasons for their split, demeaning their turbulent relationship. Will the short-lived connection between Remy and E end, or will there be more? Stay tuned to see what mayhem is ahead since this drama hasn't ended yet. Can you believe that Rehea didn't hold back when Gotti accused her of cheating on Papu, the man who had been faithful to her for years and supported her during her incarceration? What's even more shocking is that instead of denying these allegations of infidelity, Papoose seemed to embrace them and admit that Remy wasn't as faithful as everyone thought. After releasing the bombshell, Gotti stepped up his efforts, saying the following since the reports started. We all expected Ree to stand up and deny the accusations as Ren's adultery started to spread. However, this is when things went wrong, since she chose to keep quiet instead of addressing the problem head-on. It turns out that during the press coverage, Remy wasn't even playing around with Eazy the Block. Someone else was involved and didn't want to be seen with Ren in public. Being silent does not imply weakness. The bad news, Captain, is that identification was revealed quite quickly. According to reports from several media outlets, she was in a polyamorous relationship after facing criticism for her challenging relationship. The story gets even more complicated when you find out that another underground artist was spotted wearing matching timepieces and holding hands. Guess what happened when Remy first tried to disavow this relationship? Several media outlets verified there was nothing more unexpected than a few weeks ago, somewhere else, and this time it's Claressa Shields. Boxing champion Remy posted a screenshot of Papo with his new girlfriend with a critical caption, "Even when he was lying at my house," on the phone with Claressa Shields. Remy won't pursue it because of the strained relationship that developed between him and Claressa Shields after her unexpected revelation. In a string of furious altercations, the two women didn't mince words. Every time they passed this girl, who is allegedly a world boxer, Claressa even threatened to assault Remy. However, she hung up as soon as she heard my voice. I'm telling you everything now, and you're not alone. Many of his fans were surprised when he reprimanded Remy for pursuing a new relationship, because it seems like she is still not over Papu, given her constant bad aura. The fact that she cheated on him initially and that she can't stand to see him find happiness with someone else makes this story even more bizarre. She is furious that he continued to see someone else and obviously doesn't want to see his happy weeks. A few minutes into the play, Remy appeared at a public event and the audience's reaction was amazing. After they began applauding the block, Captain during his rap battle, everyone was taken aback by what happened. Within hours after the video's release, it went viral, and fans quickly attacked Remy for what they perceived to be her inciting violence. They wanted to be at the front, so they yelled, "Hey Remy, don't you love me? See right there? That's the applause." Even when she was still with Eazy, the block captain was talking about Messi. But now insiders are admitting that things weren't as they seemed. Remy chose to say yes right away to avoid adding to the tension since the question was unexpected, even though she wasn't ready for the consequences. Now that the truth is out, she finds herself in a challenging predicament because he neglected to alert her to the impending bombshell. Her friendship with her roommate consequently soured. According to a source, Ree has been on a warpath since Papoose was disciplined for dating someone new, and Remy isn't treating him with the deference he merits. Eazy feels taken advantage of. However, this is where karma may be involved, because moving on to Remy while she was at ease with Papoose amounted to treason, and betrayal always has consequences. Although some could argue that this is Remy's karma going full circle, fans are discussing the entire incident, and many are shocked that he might have harmed Papo. For someone like 50 Cent, who fought his way to fame with unwavering resolve, Remy is the perfect example of why some people say you shouldn't date a woman from New York. People are pointing fingers at her for everything he did for her, saying that she should have treated him better after all the years of commitment and help. Remy will continue to crash out during this perimenopause and midlife crisis, and she has died more terribly than anyone else that comes to mind. Later on, she would come to the realization that this was the worst choice she had ever made. 50 Cent's tale is more complex than it first appears. When he married his then-girlfriend Sheena Tompkins in 1996, he became a father. His real name is Curtis Jackson. Few people are aware of the drama and suffering that underlie his personal life, despite the fact that he is most famous as a rapper. Was Eazy the block captain really a front to get over Papoose? Or did you actually like him? Please leave your comments in the space provided below. He has devoted all of his love and devotion to his Zaire son Sire while balancing complex relationships. From his past, the dispute between 50 and his eldest son, May Jackson, had already begun by the time they got to the legal end of things in 2008. Their admiration for their father shifted to disappointment as they got older. As children, the Mayers loved their father and believed him to be supernatural and enormous. And his kid grew as their turbulent relationship deteriorated. When Mars was seen in a picture with Griffa Kenneth Supreme's child in 2008, it was the last STW. 50 Cent was devastated by this treachery and responded on social media with a harsh remark that he would have failed if a bus had struck the mayor and McGriff's son. Their arguments with Tompkins and complex legal issues turned their communication into a remote, lawyer-mediated process. Family members made a harsh statement about how tense their relationship had become, stating that the Mayers, he said, he felt his son was not treating him with any respect. Despite the fact that he had given Mace a lot more money than he had ever had as a youngster, Mars publicly tried to get his father to notice him in 2022 by paying $6,700 for a single date, the same amount 50 had paid in child support each month. Frequently stirred the pot by purposely doing things to agitate his father. He would associate with people who didn't like or post things online to irritate him. Mars later stated that he had tried to contact his father privately but had failed since. He had not blocked his phone number on social media. Mraz is determined to establish himself and enters the music industry, dropping songs and trying to create a career free from his father's shadow. Unlike 50 Cent, who declined the offer, saying it wasn't about money and that he just wanted to spend time with his father, deeply ingrained family problems can conceal layers of pain, happiness, and strife, even for the most successful. 50 Cent's experiences as a father and a son are not unusual. His relationship with his oldest son, Maris, is impacted by his experiences navigating the highs and lows of his family's story in his 50s, which is one of love, treachery, and the challenges that make preserving family ties so challenging. Death. Joy was the father of his second son, born in September 2012. Was turbulent, but they seemed much closer at first glance. D accused 50 of mystery on social media in March 2024, saying that her heart was broken and that she no longer trusted him as a father. Despite 50 Cent's denial of the charges, the public accusations further deteriorated their already tense relationship. During this time, 50 was relocating to obtain sole custody of Sire, and Daf was supposedly working as an adult, which she did. The event garnered media attention and extended beyond courtrooms. Dauphin was charged with kicking her and causing damage to her possessions as their disagreement became heated. However, he pleaded guilty to petty mischief in the event, avoiding a more severe punishment. 50F was accused of domestic abuse in 2013. So this wasn't the first time their disagreement made news. However, he never wavers in his commitment to his heritage, particularly with regard to Sir. In a recent interview, he made it clear that his youngest son will inherit all of his money and that all he has created will be Sir's to carry, resulting in community service and 3 years of probation. Anyone familiar with 50's past knows that McGriff is more than just a nickname. It's connected to a challenging time in the rapper's life. The shooting at Pride 2000, which nearly claimed 50 lives, is said to have involved him. Fans are still in awe of his dedication to his father, but many want to know more about what happened to Mars, his firstborn kid. One of the most controversial events in the ongoing narrative of the struggle between Vic D and Mars was when his son was spotted with the child of someone who was so directly implicated in the catastrophe. In 2018, Mars shared a photo of his son with Kenneth Supreme, with 50 Cent's laser-like focus on creating a future for his son in the background. His mother was drugged, rendered unconscious, and had her apartment set on fire in what the author believed to be a homicide. Her life was impacted for a long time by the circumstances surrounding 50 Cent's murder. Despite living in a dangerous part of South Jamaica, Queens, she was well known for her courage and tenacity, making advances in a harsh environment for women like her. 50 Cent's life has always revolved around his family, but there have been many heartaches and hardships along the way. 50 Cent has talked in interviews about the pain he never truly got over after his mother, Sabrina Jackson, passed away when he was only 8 years old. Curtis's ambition, passion, and unwavering drive for success were ignited by this incident, but it also left scars that molded him into the complex man he is today, a parent attempting to balance the hurt of unresolved connections with his legacy. The details of her horrific abduction demonstrate that Sabrina was more than simply his mother. She was a strong woman who prepared her son for the difficult world he would have to face. He recalls her as being firm but caring, constantly encouraging him to get up and move. Her advice: get up. "What are you crying for?" resonated with him and shaped his approach to overcoming obstacles in both his childhood and his career as a well-known celebrity, even as an adult. He admits that she took away the one person who meant the world to him, and that whenever life 50 Cent has never held back when discussing those years. His music and interviews portray a time of arrests, altercations, and snap judgments, but his grandma remained his pillar of support and the one constant in an otherwise turbulent life. At the age of 12, he was taken to live with his grandmother in South Jamaica, Queens. He felt forced to follow this route even though he didn't want to. By that point, he was working, distributing drugs, and learning how to survive on the streets. Explains how his rough look on the streets and the need to get permission to walk home from school made living with his grandma challenging at times. His Aunt Sylvia was the source of the conflict because Curtis had replaced her in the family. He was close to his grandmother in spite of this, and he frequently thought she could see his mother's face. This wordless tie weighed on him every day, but it also made her love for him stronger. Even though she was frail, her eyes sparkled as he spoke to her, and after their brief conversation, he saw that her pulse rate had decreased. The tragedies of losing friends and loved ones to drugs, violence, and accidents were traumatic for him. 50 had never gone through something so agonizing. His aunt turned to him and said, I'm waiting for you." The whole family was in the hospital when he was called. Although 50 Cent's ties haven't always been clear-cut, he honored his grandfather's sacrifices with a heart-shaped Instagram photo. His relationship with Daffy, the mother of his youngest son's side, for example, it's been challenging and has been characterized by public accusations and legal issues. Then a widely publicized but since deleted tweet from May 2023. Model and actress. Daffy accused 50 Cent of mistreating him. 50 Cent responded by suing for defamation, saying that he still puts his family first in spite of the chaos. In September 2023, 50 Cent decided to dismiss the case after all the fuss. But he left it open to be revived if needed in the interim. Apparently, all he wanted was to escape the current legal predicament. However, given that 50 Cent has consistently stated that he wished to be present during his parents' tumultuous relationship, the DAS claims that he felt abused further strained their already difficult relationship. What are your thoughts? Kindly leave a comment in the box provided below. For over 2 decades, 50 Cent has been embroiled in a lengthy conflict with Shaniqua Tompkins, the mother of his eldest son, Marquise. Since they started dating in the late 1990s, things have become more complex. It's unclear if this is a part of a larger plan or only an attempt to defuse the situation. The problem has gotten worse because of all the animosity between him and Joy. 50 Cent asserts that her accusations were meant to keep him from accomplishing anything noteworthy in addition to harming his name. What do you think about the situation? Do you think Shaniqua is being unfairly singled out? Or do you think 50's charges are true? Tell us about the back and forth in the space provided for comments below. 50 accused Shaniqua of squandering funds from his first major international tour for cosmetic surgery rather than real estate in January 2019, further escalating the ongoing cycle of public insults, legal actions, and back and forth on social media. Shaniqua didn't keep quiet, as you might have expected, and the drama went on. When 50 Cent revealed that he had been giving Shaniqua $40,000 a month, or almost $500,000 annually, to raise their sons, tensions increased. Shaniqua, however, was unhappy with that amount and wanted more. In response, 50 Cent took the matter to court, and the amount was eventually reduced to $34,000. The debate between 50 Cent and Shaniqua Tompkins seemed to go on forever, especially when it came to their battle for custody of their sons. Complexity and intensity of 50 Cent and Shaniqua's relationship over the years is demonstrated by their continual battle, which costs $6,700 every month. Despite the money, the emotional toll on their son, and all the back and forth from the public, their hostility appears to be far from done. What are your thoughts? Is there a possibility that these two will ever work out their differences? Or can this argument continue to play out in the spotlight? Please feel free to express your opinions in the comment section below. But the drama didn't stop there. Shaniqua was bold enough to work with. This merely makes things more difficult. How do you feel about her appearing on a reality TV program? Do you believe it's just another chapter in their never-ending drama? Or does that make things worse? Please feel free to comment below with your ideas.